14 years. 14 years is the amount of time that I have given to the Dungeons & Dragons community. That is the amount of time I have DM'd, the amount of times I have made homebrew campaigns. That is the amount of time I've given up my Wednesdays because people have to organize and regulate their schedules, because the hardest part about D&D isn't actually running a campaign and getting things going. The hardest part is getting the adults to actually join in for a session is the hardest part of D&D. I have enjoyed the game in its totality. I really have. And I've addressed many of the issues I've had before about in-person communities, such as the hygiene, the smell, and things of that variety. But I think I'm done overall with D&D completely. A lot of you guys came here on this channel for a specific video that I made where I got gang members to play Dungeons & Dragons. That was a large boom on my channel. It was the largest video on my channel at 1.3 million views. I got a bunch of gang members to play Dungeons & Dragons. That's what I did. Now, that was a horrifying experience for me. It was terrifying. I did this when I was at the tender age of 15, and it was the first D&D campaign I had ever done. I DM'd the entire campaign. It was horrifying. I did it because I needed to stay safe in my neighborhood. I myself was a Crip, and I had to get the Bloods in my neighborhood to calm down on me. So I got the, let's just call them leaders of the specific areas I was in, to sit down for a game, an entire campaign where I had to homebrew an entire game. If you haven't seen that video, then by all means, it's on my channel. It's go to popular, it's right there. It's a very fun event that happened in my life. However, I have been trying to reignite my love for the game after that moment. I went to Renaissance festivals, and I've been going to game rooms. Now, if you're going to play D&D, I do not recommend going to a game room unless you bring deodorant or a face mask, because every time I go into one of these stores, a card shop or something of that variety, a game store, it smells insane. The smell is so much. And I know this is a big joke in the community. Oh, it smells like hoo-ha, hee-ha, and hot damn. It smells like the gods have cast the stench upon the world. It smells like someone's being smited. It smells disgusting. It's a real issue, because I threw up. I threw up at one of the events because of how bad it smelled. It was so bad. It hurt my chest. My legs went numb. It hurt so bad. I went limp smelling these people. It was disgusting. And they know that they'll leave fecal matter on chairs. One guy peed in a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament at my local shop. He just peed in a chair because he didn't want to move from the spot because he thought the person would take his cards. That's the issue, card taking. There's so many issues within this, and it's horrifying. There was a Magic tournament 4 months ago at my local card shop, and at the Magic tournament, I kid you not, a guy brought a diaper. A guy brought a diaper because he has issues getting up and down from his chair because of how massive he is as a human being, because of the gargantuan scale of how big he is. It's horrifying. So he brought a diaper because he didn't want to keep getting up to use the bathroom to and fro over and over again. It's terrifying. Now, what does this have to do with me giving up D&D? Now, I know the immediate response of people. Immediately, they're going to say, well, you could just do online campaigns or join Discords. I'll get to that in a minute. Let's talk about the in-person stuff first. Back in the day, there was no Discord. There was no online meetings. There was no Skype calls. I didn't have any of that. Most people didn't have internet. I had to go in person and deal with these people. I had to go in person and deal with the drama between groups. I had to go through and deal with that. And we'd be having a really good campaign halfway through, doing great, amazing. We're having a fun time. Some drama breaks out, and it's a big issue. And D&D is a very heavy game. It takes a while. You would be lucky. I believe maybe 10% of people finish a campaign, maybe 10%. It's a very small number. Usually people start the campaign off in the beginning of D&D. That's the fun part. When it gets to the end where everybody's basically a god, there's no fun. At the beginning, when everybody's struggling and figuring out constructive ways to do things, that's the fun of it. That's why so many people start new Baldur's Gate 3 campaigns, because they enjoy the beginning of it, because the beginning of the journey is super fun. We're learning about each other. We're constructing character sheets. We're making new characters because we've discovered something fun we want to do with a new character. We're having a great time. But then drama ensues, and issues ensue within that drama, and then new playtests get out, and people get upset about certain things about people are doing. Some people try to overtake the campaign. There's arguments between the DM and the players. It's a lot. It's a lot, because it's a very human-centric thing. Especially if it's a homebrew campaign, horrifying, very human-centric. Some people lying about dice rolls and things of that variety. That's what happens in online campaigns. If you're not using a a bot to roll dice in the chat, or if you're using your own thing and trusting, people will lie about dice rolls. That's the issue there. One person misses a campaign, you got to wait and reschedule. And it takes so long. I was a part of a campaign that took 6 years to complete. 6 years. We finished it, thank God. But 6 years is a long time. I forgot most of what it was about. And it wasn't fun at the end of it. It was just draining. It was very draining. I watched these people change and grow up, become completely different people over the course of 6 years. I watched people date. I watched people in the group date each other. And then I was playing at one point with everybody had slept with each other in the group besides me. Now, I'm not saying I'm angry about it. I'm saying I didn't live in their cities. They organized meetings and stuff like that. I was just a guy out, just there. I was in a relationship. I was just having a good time. It was horrifying. And when it happens on Discord, it's not horrifying. Obviously, you don't got to deal with the smell. That's a big thing. You got to deal with the smell of the situation. But the bigger issue is the anger. It's the muting. It's the disagreements. It's everybody has to have good internet. Some people want to turn their thing on. People interrupting and speaking over each other. It's a melding of insufferable, socially inept people. And I love the game so much, right? I don't like the community. And I like people in the community, but the totality of the community angers me to such a degree. It's a lot of people with bad hygiene, a lot of people that are violently racist for no reason because they grew up in gamer culture where it was mostly just dominated by white males, where they were picked on for liking video games or liking D&D, and now they're older and everybody is getting into D&D and everybody's playing video games, so they feel like they got to gatekeep, and that's a big issue in the community. And they're racist towards black people. They've been saying the N-word on Call of Duty lobbies or playing their Xbox or their PlayStation on Diablo or playing League of Legends, and when they get online and playing on Discord, they're violently more racist because I can't see your face. You're calling me slurs. It's so many different things, and it's not just one instance. If this was a one-off instance, I wouldn't have made a video about it. If this is just one thing, I would say, oh yeah, it's just this one instance, one thing. No, it's over the course of 12 separate campaigns, there have been at least 2 people that are racist. Strange. I don't really mind it that much. I'm not talking about baby racism where they just say the N-word and I can just deal with it. Whatever you say the N-word. I don't care about that. I'm talking about they will actively do things to hinder me in the campaign because I'm black. And I'm not saying this is because I'm black in its totality. I'm not using race in this. I'm not trying to play a victim card. But I feel like it is an issue, right? Is it not an issue in the community that there are prolific, prevalent people that are misogynistic and deeply racist within it? And I know it's supposed to be this accepting thing. A lot of gays, a lot of theater kids, a lot of drama kids get into D&D. But I'm noticing a lot of infighting within that because of the main prevalent group of people that go to the game room. It's these people that deeply care about the statistics. It's the people that have all these number sheets and all these data points and entry points within it. It's so saddening. It's depressing. It's people with an ego complex that feel like they have to dominate the campaign. And when they don't have full control over everything, when some funny guy joins the campaign or some jokester and the DM can't deal with it, they get mad at them. And I love when jokesters join in. When I DM'd, loved it, 100%. I bring it in. We can do it together. You can do whatever you want to. Do what you want. Whatever. We can have fun. The game's supposed to be fun. People take the game too seriously. It's depressing. And I know a lot of people are seeing, I believe, Brandon Lee Mulligan. Great introduction in D&D. Great DM, great human being. And they're seeing a very commercialized version of D&D, how campaigns are supposed to go and how it's supposed to be. Well, that's not how every campaign goes. There's infighting, romantic drama, there's disgust, there's anger, there's hygiene, there's so many different things. You guys want to meet up, and there is so much. Organizing schedules. I don't want to do it anymore. I don't. I know I'm not a D&D channel. I'm not. But a lot of people are asking me, why won't I do a campaign while on the channel? Why won't I do a live campaign with viewers or something of that variety? I tested it out. I picked out 7 different people, and I tried to test it out and see how they'd operate. All strange. And I vetted them. I went through rigorous stuff ever since that video blew up 7 months ago. I've been trying for 7 months because people kept asking me to do a D&D campaign. I've tried for 7 months straight to try this out. I've gone on my Discord and tried to vet people. It's been 7 months of me trying this out, and it has failed each time. Can't get people organized. People get mad at me. People get upset about other people in the campaign. People don't want people in the campaign. Someone says something slightly misogynistic or slightly thinks somebody misgenders somebody in the campaign, and it gets messy, and people are getting mad because they feel like less of a person because they're getting misgendered. It's too much. It's too much. I'm not a boss. I'm not. I'm really not. I'm genuinely not somebody that wants to lead and annihilate and destroy. I can't do it. I can't do it. And there's so many ingrown fighting issues with it. And on the outset, from a very superficial standpoint, it is a very beautiful community. You get to create your own character. You get to become the perfect version of yourself. You get to pick your own race, your own height. You get to pick your class. You get to pick your items. You get to pick your personality and your backstory. You get to construct this different version of yourself to escape from reality. A perfect form of escapism. It's beautiful. Dungeons & Dragons is amazing for that. And I never want to discourage you from starting a campaign and getting people out there to play the game. I 100% recommend always playing Dungeons & Dragons. It is a beautiful game to get into. If you have a group of friends who are organized and you always hang out, you should probably try D&D. If you don't have any issues or infighting, try D&D. It's a great team building game. It's very cooperative and it's amazing when it's done right. However, I have had too many interpersonal bad experiences. I have witnessed the worst parts of this community. I have seen the evils of the community. I have been to many game rooms where the hygiene is lackluster. It's a big reason why I barely go to conventions anymore. I ever so barely go to conventions anymore because of the horrifying, fumigating, fecal smell of the fungal material coming from people because they don't know basic practices of hygiene. It is disgusting. Get some deodorant and get some soap. Deal with it. Deal with it. It's disgusting. I know you're fumigating in your own smell all day and you're just in your own musk and you're used to the smell. You've gone nose blind to it, but it's gross. It's nasty. Brush your teeth, man. It's nasty. It's so gross. It's supposed to be an open and welcoming community that's supposed to accept everyone. You can't be getting mad at people because they want to speak undercommon. You cannot be getting mad at people because they want to have specific things in a campaign. You can't get mad because they want to make a few jokes. Or, can they please get a reroll on that one? I apologize, my wrist messed up. You just, it's so much. Too much to deal with. I can't do it anymore. I can't. My brain hurts going through the cycles of cyclical garbage of what everyone keeps doing with this game. It is supposed to be fun. Where's the fun? Where's it at? I haven't seen it in quite some time. I haven't been a part of a campaign that's been genuinely fun, and I play with some really fun people. And everybody, this is what happens every time I bring up this complaint. You can play with my campaign. We're really fun. And I join your campaign, and you guys suck. That's what happens every time. Without fail. Every single time whenever I bring this issue or address it, it's always, you can join my campaign, and it's either people are very boring, they're horrifying, they're too, and when I say this, I mean this in the realest sense of the word, too pushy, far too pushy. Everybody has a big ego, too much pride. People don't want to play with certain other people. It's disgusting. People don't want to make a few jokes within the game. People want to push the campaign forward too much. Let people live. It's just a game, man. Well, the DM didn't write in for that. He didn't know what to do. He didn't write that in the story. He has a specific storyline. Adjust. Being a DM is 80% improv, dude. Get used to it. Get used to it. That's what you have to do. I had to do a campaign one time where a bard had to somehow get an electric guitar, so I had to get an electrical amp using thunder magic. That was very difficult, considering we had to go to a dwarven empire in order to figure out where to get the electric amp, and he had to explain the confines of it. And I said that if he can actually draw out how it happens, I will put it in the campaign. So you know what he did over the next 2 weeks until we met up again? He drew it out, and that's amazing creativity, and I think that's beautiful. And I put it in the campaign because he did it. Because he loved the game that much. He did it in between shifts at work. He learned how guitar amps work just to put it in the game so we could have an electric guitar and an amp so we could use it, not for combat, not for combat, just so he could seduce a cleric. And he failed the role. And the cleric beat him. That's what happened. That's the beauty of D&D. But I haven't been seeing the beauty of it in a while. It's so sad. It's very sad. Because I love communities, right? I love Steven Universe. I love Spider-Man. I love Naruto, Bleach, One Piece. I love Dragon Ball Z. But when I see the show, I think the show is great. When I see an anime, I think the anime is fine, right? I think the anime is outstanding. The community's here, anime's here. And then there's this divot where the community sucks so bad. They'll make Deku yaoi. They'll make Bakugo fanfiction. They'll have these hyper fantasies in their mind where they say a character specifically this way, and that's the only way they could possibly be. They'll say Steven Universe has a great story and it doesn't have any flaws at all. Pokemon games look amazing. All of them look super good and it's never had any issues ever. I don't care if it's $1 billion company. I don't care about none of that. And it's not the games in themselves. It's not D&D. It's the people. But sadly, I can't play D&D by myself. Pokemon, play by myself. Dragon Ball Z, can play that by myself. Diablo, can play that by myself. I can watch anime by myself. I can enjoy shows by myself. I don't have to interact with those communities. D&D, I actively have to be a part of the community. Yu-Gi-Oh, I don't have to be a part of the community at all. I would never interact with the Yu-Gi-Oh community, ever. I love playing the game. Magic, same deal. I love Magic. I don't have to interact with the community. They have online games. D&D, I have to talk to people. I literally have to talk to people. I have to be a part of it. And it's so sad because the people are the worst part. And it's depressing to say that. It's people that don't have any social skills, don't have any social cues, don't have social ineptitude, and people that want to be social and are trying their best to be. And I really respect and I deeply appreciate that. But when it comes to a point where you're being annoying about it, when you're being cringy about it, when you're being pushy about it, when you're being prideful and egotistical, when you're being mean about it, that's where it gets an issue. That's when you combine all those traits into one person, where you don't have anything about that, and you have no hygiene, and you have no ability to pick up on when somebody doesn't want to do something, and you push it on them, and you peer pressure them, and you do all these things. And this is very personal. This is a very personal experience that I've been going through with D&D, and I've been trying so hard to give this game another chance. I've given it 27 chances. I've given up. I quit. I don't want to do it anymore. I really don't. If you love D&D still happy for you. I hope you play. I hope your campaign finishes. I hope you seduce that random orc that you wanted to, that doesn't speak common or undercommon and just communicates in grunts. I hope that you finish the campaign. I really do. But I can't be here for it anymore. And I'm sorry. Thank you. And goodbye.